let's say you want to rock with the Commanders, right? You want to rock with the Cowboys, Prescott, right? What you want to do is you want to click on him. You want to see what release he has. All right, this goes for any team. Okay, attributes, right? He gets generic 2. Generic 2 is what Jalen Hurts gets, okay? Which is, it's not the best release. Okay, Slinger 1 is always going to be the best, but Slinger 5 is just god-awful. I'd rather have generic 2 than Slinger 5. 92 speed for a left end, that is insane. I mean, that dude's running like a 4.5 or something like that, whatever it is. I mean, just apps for a left end, 235 pounds, 6 foot to run 92 speed is absolutely incredible. I probably run like a 6 slow ass. Right? YouTube, what's up, boys? So check it out, man. This video, I'm going to be going over the best regs teams, and I'm going to show you guys how to set up the depth chart and certain things that you need to look for, okay? This is probably one of the most important videos that you'll watch this year. You watch it all the way through one time, and then you'll be set the rest of the year, so you know what to look for. All right, first things first, Jets are probably the best team in the game, all right? So I want to show you something real quick. I want to show you Aaron Rodgers, and I want to show you Justin Herbert, okay? So Aaron Rodgers, right? Edit player. So you go into manage rosters, and you go to edit player, okay? And then you're going to go to attributes, okay? He gets Slinger 1. Now, they did nerf Gunslinger, and Gunslinger is not as OP as it was last year. But I want you to look at his release. Okay, you see his release, just how fast it is. It's just back and forth. That's it. All right, and then we're going to look at Herbert's release. Okay, Slinger 1 is always the best. It's always the best release in the game. All right, for the past couple of years, it's been the best. So then you go Justin Herbert. Okay, the reason why, this is the only reason why the Chargers are not the top team is because he gets Slinger 5. Okay, look at his release. Okay, it's a wind-up. So on deep passes, he's going to wind up. Then most likely you're going to get sacked. But with Rodgers, it's just a back and forth every time because he has Slinger 1, okay, which is, like I said, the best release in the game. So the casual player who, sees this video, there's nothing wrong with being a casual player, but there are things you guys don't know that I know. And that the pro players know. I'm not a pro player, but there are things that we know that maybe you as a casual, you just it would never cross your mind. That's one of them, is the release is extremely important. It's so important, dude. You guys have no idea how important it is. So that's the first thing. So just to get that out the way, if you want to rock with, let's say you want to rock with the Commanders, right? You want to rock with, the Cowboys, Prescott, right? What you want to do is you want to click on him. You want to see what release he has. All right, this goes for any team. Okay, attributes, right? He gets generic 2. Generic 2 is what Jalen Hurts gets, okay? Which is, it's not the best release. Okay, Slinger 1 is always going to be the best, but Slinger 5 is just god-awful. I'd rather have generic 2 than Slinger 5, okay? So these are just, certain things that you need to keep in mind for. Okay, so the Jets. So what I'm going to do is, you want to go to auto reorder and you want to hit yes, okay? What that's going to do is that's going to put the best players in that position, okay? And then we go from there. All right, so you have Hall, 93 speed. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this guy at second string, 92 speed. You always want speed, and regs, especially in regs, you want speed. This is what I've noticed from the games that I've played, is speed is a huge advantage, man. To beat man coverage, to get over the top, especially the fact that you can rack, you can throw a lob and then you can rack it and keep running. Speed is going to be extremely important. But you have 93, 92. So you want second string to be that guy, okay? Then you can go to fullback. All right, now what you can do is you can look at your first string. This is what I do every time. This is not just something that I'm just kind of like a theory. I do this every single time. So he's my first string, right? So I would not put him at fullback. So I look at the second string, which is this guy, okay? This is my second string guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him right here, okay? Now, you have this guy, actually 6'5", okay? 6'5", 82 speed. Okay, and then what you want to look for, you want to go all the way to the side of, we'll go for run block. Okay, run block, 63, 66, 57. So I'm going to put the 6'5" guy, actually. I'm going to put him, actually, at first string. So even though I have a tight end and not the actual fullback, but he's 6'5", bigger body, he's going to latch onto these guys better. So that's some of the things that I do, right? Then you have Wilson, Hardman. All right, you have Lazard. I didn't realize Lazard was 93 speed. He's actually pretty slow. And then you have Davis, okay? Now, something you always want to do is you always want to check at the very bottom, okay? You always want to go to the very bottom because sometimes they have hidden players, right? Like on the Eagles, I can show you real quick. If you go to the Eagles, because I play with the Eagles, right? Devin Allen, 95 speed, okay? So if I didn't scroll down to the depth chart, I wouldn't have seen him. You know what I mean? I'm going to show you how I set up the Eagles, how I play with the Eagles too, which is going to be really sick. But, right, Randall Cobb, 88 speed. 88 speed's not going to cut it. So what I'm going to do is actually put Taylor in there, Malik Taylor, okay? Right? 6'3", 90, way better than Cobb. Even, let's say the only thing that matters in route running is deep route, okay? So that's something we got to keep in mind. The only thing that matters is deep route, and a deep route, in order for deep route to be effective, it needs to be over 90. So these are 81, 81, 70. So it doesn't matter, right? And in order for deep route running to create separation, you need a 90 plus overall, okay? So this is how I'd set that up right here. That's pretty solid, you know. Lazard is bomb. Lazard's really good. So that's fine right there, right? Then you have the tight end, right? I have a left tackle, left guard, right? Right tackle, right guard. Okay, everything's looking good here. Now, defensive side, you want to look at speed. All right, you want to look at speed on the ends, especially this year. But this guy, I want to look at his finesse moves. So you want to go over here and you want to go to finesse, okay? You want to look at finesse and block shedding on the defensive line, okay? So this guy right here, okay? Clemens, he's 6'5". He's giant. He's huge. But he has 58 finesse moves, 78 block shedding. Now look at this guy. Defensive tackle, he has 90 block shedding. So what I'm going to do is put this guy at second string, okay? Which he's most likely going to be my starter, which he is. Williams is my starter, okay? So he has 90 block shed, okay? So he's going to get in there. But that's some of the things you want to look for, okay? So then I have Lawson. Okay, Lawson's pretty good. I do have this guy, 85 speed. So I have 85 speed right here, and then you want to go to block shedding and finesse moves, okay? You want to compare him to this guy. So I'm going to actually put him at second string, okay? So if Carl Lawson isn't getting there, isn't getting pressure, then I'm going to sub him out. Am I tripping? Oh, that's right, because I put him at left end. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so if Lawson's not working, then I can just switch these guys or do something like that. But you always want to fix the second string, because sometimes the reason why the second string is really important is because if you're in a goal line set, right? If you're in a goal line set, you'll have two defensive tackles. Sometimes you'll have two defensive tackles. Sometimes you have two right ends. So your second string will be in there. So that's why it's very important. You got to set your depth chart the right way. All right. It's just very important. Okay. And then right here, right? Outside linebacker. Okay. You always want your fastest linebackers in here. Okay. So I have 88 Barnes. Okay. 88 Barnes is my fastest. And then you have Williams right here. Okay. So let's see if Barnes is in there. Barnes is not in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put Barnes at first string, right? I'm going to put Barnes right here and see who's taller. He's 5'11". 5'11" in Madden is not going to cut it. So he's getting second string. First string is going to be Barnes, okay? 88 speed. All right, middle linebacker. Middle linebacker, that's okay. I'll probably put... Okay, Barnes is starting. So I'd probably put him... If I'm playing with linebackers... then you always want the taller linebackers, right? even though speed matters, you could try it with 87, 5'11", you could try it. But worst case, you might have to switch it up a little bit, okay? You know what I mean? Or this guy right here, 6'2", 86. So maybe I'll take the L with 1. So I'll take a loss on 1 speed, but I get the height advantage, and that's one of the things you want, right? Tackle doesn't matter. Tackle is tackle. The tackle rating never really matters, honestly, in Madden, as much as you think it does, okay? Then you go outside linebacker, right? I'll probably just keep that there. That's fine. You know what I mean? You just kind of look through, kind of figure out how you want to do it. Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting, okay? So, you have 96 speed, you have 93 speed, okay? So, the Jets are an excellent man coverage. They're an excellent man coverage team, okay? So, let's see, right? DJ Reed, you got Hall. All right, so Carter is going to be 3rd string. Okay, Chuck Clark, 88 speed is not going to cut it, so I'm going to go and find that you always want to go down in the depth chart, and you're going to find your fastest guys, right? So I'm going to put him right there. I have this guy, so I'm going to bring him up in there. Like I said, speed is everything, man. Speed is absolutely everything. All right, and then at this point, you have an option. You have 96 speed, okay? So you can have, I'd probably have 92, 93, and 90, okay? So I'd probably put Reed there. Look at this man. Man in zone. Okay, 97, sauce is cracked. 97, 92. Zone is way better. Okay, so I'd probably, you know what, speed, definitely speed. Yeah, definitely speed. And then what I would do is probably, who's taller? Yeah, he's 5'9". 5'9's not going to cut it. So this is how I'd run it. Okay, this is how I'd run it. Now, what you can do from this point on is you can put this guy, 96 speed, you can either put him as 2nd or 3rd string, or you can move him to safety. Now, what I would recommend is you use him at safety, okay? So I'd recommend you put him at safety. So Chuck Clark's right here. What I would do is I'd put the 96 speed right here at strong safety, and I'd start him at safety, okay? The reason being is because the deep blues play just phenomenal this year, man. They play so good this year. The ability to break on the ball. If you guys watch my breakdown, I did a breakdown on Madden 24 gameplay, right? And just the deep half, the deep blues ability just to break on the ball is just absolutely phenomenal, man. It's insane. So 96 speed, you can catch any ball, you can catch up to any receiver. You can catch up to Tyreek Hill. You can catch up to Watkins. Having him always, maybe you can have him in a mid-read. So, or not a mid-read, but an inside third. So you can have him in a deep blue one play and an inside third on the other play, right? He will always be in the middle of the field. As soon as that ball is thrown, he's going to break on it. That's 96 speed compared to, where's Chuck Clark? 88 speed. It's a very big difference. I mean, it's a huge difference. And then you have, see, just other things you can look at. This guy right here, Davis. Davis would probably be my user. I haven't gotten that far yet, so I guess we'll see. Then you have Hardeman, right? You always want your fastest guy you want your fastest guy with the fastest acceleration at punt return, kick return. Okay, 3rd down running back, right? You got Hall. You're gonna have to bring this guy back up, right? Power running back. Okay, so power, you want to look at break tackle. You don't want to look at truck. You want to look at break tackle. Okay, you want to look at break tackle and stiff arm. Okay, so he has 80 stiff arm, 82 break tackle. So Hall is going to be my 3rd down or my power back. Okay, so trucking doesn't matter as much as you think it does. So if there's somebody with a 90 truck but a 70 stiff arm, it's just not going to cut it. You always want stiff arm, best break tackle. Okay, slot receiver. I think I'm okay with this setup right here, right? You have Wilson, Hardman, and then Lazard. Maybe I'd put Lazard right here, but Wilson, let's see his release. This is very important too, because you always want to look at release. So yeah, I'd put Lazard right here. The reason being is 83 release, 90 jump. All right, release is very important on the offensive side. Okay, he's 6'5", he's gonna get off the ball. It's gonna be hard to press Lazard. You know what I mean? He's going to be able to get off the ball and then create some sort of separation. Even though he's slow, the release is so good, right? Now, you would never want Hardman, your fastest receiver. Usually you don't want him in the slot. I'm thinking bunch-wise, okay? I'm thinking bunch. If I'm in bunch, I want Lazard in the slot or Wilson in the slot. And Hardman, I'm always going to want him on a C route or a deep post route. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to put my 96 speed in the slot because slot routes are just not that great this year. All right, and then this is where it gets interesting, okay? This is where it gets very interesting. All right, so you always want a fast guy in here, right? So I have Barnes, right? Barnes is 88 speed, 6'1", okay? So you're going to want him in there. I'm going to make sure there are no other linebackers that are faster than him. Okay. Nope, seems to be pretty good. And then what you want to look for is you want to look for change of direction. Okay, whenever you're looking at safeties, you want to look for change of direction and you want to look for height and jump. Okay, so look at this guy. This is an absolute steal. 95 jump, 6 foot, 90 speed, 94 acceleration. This is probably, if he's not going to be my user, it'll be pretty close to being my user. All right, so you want him and Amos, right? Him, Amos, and then you'd have Barnes. So for me personally, this is just a personal preference. I like to have at least one middle linebacker because if I'm running 3-3, it helps with the run defense, man. It really does. Having at least one linebacker out there does help with the run defense, right? And then you have this guy, Davis, 92 speed, 86 change of direction. What's his jump? His jump is 89. That's pretty solid too. So if anything, if I'm running 3-3, this would be the move right here. And then you can just switch between who has the best user. The best user is always going to be the best change of direction, but these guys are just all about the same. So it would go from height to jump. So what I would do is I'd go to jump. Tony Adams has the best jump, so I would actually end up using Tony Adams. Okay? And the reason I do that is because 95 jump, 6 foot, 90 speed. I mean, this guy's just an absolute steal. And then that way, trust me, you're going to catch so many interceptions. You're going to catch a lot of interceptions. Sauce, slot corner, it depends on your defense. If you're running dollar, you might not want Sauce in the slot. You know, if you're running DB fire, you don't want Sauce blitzing, right? That's just not something you want. You don't want to blitz your best guy, right? You want him in coverage. So this strictly depends on your defense. For me personally, it doesn't make sense to use Sauce at the slot. Okay, so what I would do is keep him on the outside. And then I have Carter right here. Okay, I'd have either Carter or this Converse guy right here. So Carter, Converse, and then you are just all set to go, right? Then I have 96 speed at safety. The Jets are just freaking stacked, man. The Jets have such a great defense. This is probably the best way to set up this team, man. Literally probably one of the best ways to set up this team. All right, now we're looking over the Eagles, man. So I'm not going to go into that much detail like I did, but going into detail for the first one is, you know, now you know exactly what to look for. So now I'm just going to show you the depth chart, man. So I got Hurts, right? I got Hurts. I got Swift. And then I got Penny, okay, at second string, okay? The reason that I have Swift over Penny is I like him. I like Penny. Penny moves, actually, he moves a lot better. He moves a lot better, even though Swift has 90 or 89 change of direction. I find, for me personally, I think Penny has better movement. I I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me, but the reason I put him at first string is because of his catch. All right. Sometimes when I throw it to Penny, he drops it. All right. So that's one of the things. That's the reason I do that. And then I go into fullback. I'm cool with just leaving this guy right here. Right. That's cool. Right. Receiver. I have Watkins, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, and then I put Devin Allen. Okay. Devin Allen was way down here in the depth chart. So I went ahead and just subbed him. Devin Allen, extremely fast, 95 speed. The only issue with Devin Allen is his release. So he has 57 released, all right? AJ Brown has 90. So it's not going to be, AJ Brown, if you're trying to, press AJ Brown, he's going to immediately just like swim over your guy. You know what I mean? It's going to take a minute for Devin Allen to become free. That's why he's down here. And what I'm doing currently is I'm testing out both of these guys. So Devonta Smith, he seems to get open, but the 95 speed is something that I want to use so bad. But currently in the moment in the game, I'm testing. These guys are fighting for the spot, basically. So far, Devonta Smith is doing a great job, so I'm going to keep him right there. You know what I mean? Right, and then I have Goddard, first string, right? And then you always want to see if there's anybody kind of, 90 speed tight end would be absolutely glitchy, and there's not. So I'm going to move on. All right. And then right end, right? I have Josh Sweat, 85 speed, and then look at Johnson, 92 speed. So Johnson would actually be a better deal. So I'm going to start Johnson at left end, and then if he's not getting any sheds, if he's not QB containing Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes that well, then I will sub in Sweat back in, okay? But 92 speed for a left end, that is insane. I mean, that dude's running like a 4.5 or something like that, whatever it is. I mean, just apps for a left end, 235 pounds, 6 foot to run 92 speed is absolutely incredible. I probably run like a 6 slow ass. Right? And then you got Fletcher Cox. Linebackers are linebackers, doesn't matter. Right now, cornerbacks. The reason linebackers don't matter, at least for the moment, is because we're always going to be in this sub linebacker chart, right? Which that's the reason it doesn't matter. But right, then you want to go to quarterbacks, right? So I have Slate, Greedy Williams. Okay, Williams is bomb. Ringo, and then I have Bradbury. The reason why Bradbury, he was second string and I switched him for Williams is because of the speed. 89 to 93 is it's a huge difference. So the reason I have Bradbury there is because I like having him whenever I run dollar. I like having Bradbury in the slot, specifically because of his zone coverage. So his zone coverage, where is it? 90, right? His zone coverage is 91. So whenever I have him, and whenever I'm running dollar base aligned, it's an even front, and I have Bradbury in the slot, his zone coverage is just pretty glitchy. So that's why I have him right there. All right, and then I have Scott at 5th string. Okay, then I put Maddox up here, right? Maddox at free safety, 92 speed. He is short. He is 5'9", but Maddox gets up there. He gets up there. He gets picks. Right, Edmonds, he's great, man. 90 speed. I've had no issues with Edmonds getting up there, grabbing and snagging the ball. The dude's bomb. He's just such a good. He's such a good safety, man, to have right there. Kick return, you want Watkins right there. Third down running back, right? Swift, and then power is Penny. Okay, power is Penny, specifically for the break tackle and the stiff arm. Right? And then slot receiver. Okay. The reason why I don't have AJ Brown in the slot, and like I said, your fastest receiver, you never want to put your fastest guy in the slot. You want your fastest guy on the outside. That way he's always a deep threat. That's just my philosophy. That's just my opinion. The reason I don't have AJ Brown in the slot starting is because I have wide receiver apprentice. So specifically with the Eagles, I would not want him in the slot, because I can put him on whatever route I want. You know what I mean? So it's best to keep him on the outside and then change up his route. with wide receiver Prentice. And then I have Devonta Smith. Like I said, Devonta Smith and Devin Allen are fighting for that spot. And so far, Devonta Smith has caused me no issues. He hasn't dropped the ball a lot, stuff like that. You want to go back in here. Then you want to sub in Johnson. Where's Johnson, right? He'll be my backup. He'll be my second string. All right. And then sub linebackers. I'm actually using this guy, right? McCollum. Right now, I'm using him. 6'3". Change of direction is 90. He's an absolutely phenomenal user. Jumping is 89. It's not as much as Sidney Brown. But trust me, 6'3", he gets up there. I've caught in so many picks with this guy. 58 overall. The overall does not matter in regs. It's all about speed. It's all about change of direction, and it's all about jump. That's all that matters in height. So 6'3", you're going to be able to catch picks and stuff like that, right? Then I have Sidney Brown, 94 jump, stuff like that, right? His change of direction, look at the change of direction. You have 90 versus 79. You always want to use the best change of direction. So this is the guy I've been using on the Eagles. And I have Sidney Brown, and then I'm actually going to sub in this guy right here. Nolan Smith, 93 speed. A lot of speed on this team, man. A lot of speed. Like I said, I want Ringo right here at slot. Now I want Bradbury at my secondary slot. Okay. In the worst case, I'll put Maddox over here. Right. So that's how you want to set up the Eagles. So yeah, this is basically what you do. And it doesn't matter if you're using the Chiefs. It doesn't matter if you're using the Cowboys. It doesn't matter if you're using the Chargers. You want to look at what release does the QB have. The release is so important. Right. You want to look at the halfbacks. You want to see who's the fastest halfback. Probably going to want to put him up there. Who has the best stiff arm? He's going to be the power back, right? Then you want to look at receivers. You always want to go down here at the very bottom. Sometimes you can get glitchy and you can find like a 96, a no-name 96 receiver, but he'll have, 97 speed. Put him in the game, streak him, send him on a go route. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You always want to check the tight ends. You want to see where's a glitchy tight end. You know what I mean? Glitchy tight end with like an underrated speed or something like that, right? So you have, you know what I mean? And then you go over here, you go to cornerbacks. Okay, cornerbacks, right? Go down to the very bottom. It's the same thing every time. And what's very important, like I said, is you want to always figure out the slot receiver, okay? So I have outside apprentice on Keenan Allen. So it doesn't make sense to keep him in the slot. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to keep him in the slot unless maybe on certain plays because he gets slot-o-matic. But, usually you probably wouldn't really want him in the slot. You know what I mean? You'd want somebody with a really good release. You know what I mean? Who has a really good release besides these guys, 89, 86. So Palmer, right? Palmer or you want to go speed. Palmer or Davis right here. He's 5'8". It's going to take him some time to get off the ball. But if he's going against an 89 speed corner, he's going to toast him. You know what I mean? So this stuff like that, you want to keep a look at, you know what I mean? You want to look at your left ends, right? You can always put a linebacker at left end. You can always do that. You can do a substitution that way. And then you just go from there, right? You want to fix your slot corner and you look at zone, exactly what I've showed you the whole video. But nonetheless, you guys should be set for the rest of the year, man. Cool. Drop a like for me, subscribe if you like the content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.